Have you ever wondered how something as simple as an onion could quietly transform your health from the inside out? Not through hype, not through magic, but through layers of science, tradition, and wisdom, hidden in plain sight. Today, we're going to peel back the layers of this humble kitchen staple. And what you'll discover might just change the way you look at food forever. You'll learn how onions can help regulate blood sugar, support liver detox, boost immunity, and even promote hair growth, backed by real science, not just folk tales. I still remember watching my grandmother gently slice onions into a warm pot of broth. She didn't go to the gym, she didn't take supplements. But somehow, at 78, her energy was unmatched. Back then, I didn't understand why onions mattered. Now, I do. And I can't wait to share that with you. So if you've ever underestimated what one small vegetable can do, get comfortable, because this journey is going to surprise you. Let's begin with the first hidden superpower of the onion, its ability to naturally balance blood sugar. Why onions deserve more respect than you think. If someone asked you to name a superfood, would you ever think of an onion? Probably not. We think of kale, avocados, maybe blueberries. But onions? They're too ordinary, right? That's exactly the mistake most people make. You see, onions are one of the oldest cultivated vegetables in human history. Ancient Egyptians believed they symbolized eternal life because of their endless layers. In traditional Chinese medicine, onions were used to warm the body and expel toxins. And during both world wars, soldiers used onion juice on wounds to prevent infection. But in modern kitchens, they're often just the background note, something we chop up and forget. Yet nutritionally, onions are bursting with over 25 different antioxidants, sulfur compounds, essential vitamins like B6, C, and even chromium, a trace mineral that helps stabilize blood sugar. It's as if this one humble bulb quietly carries the wisdom of centuries. But we walk past it at the grocery store without a second glance. A few years ago, I met a nutritionist in her 60s with the energy of someone half her age. She told me, "I don't believe in expensive supplements. I just eat onions every single day." Raw in her salads, sautéed in her eggs, slow roasted in soups. She didn't say it like a joke. She meant it. And when I looked closer, I realized she hadn't been sick in over 10 years. Sometimes, the most powerful things in life aren't flashy. They're quiet, familiar, overlooked, like onions. They don't just flavor our food, they nourish us at a deeper level, layer by layer. Maybe it's time we give them the respect they've always deserved. And one of the most surprising things they can do is help balance your blood sugar naturally. So next, let's dive into how this humble vegetable can support your metabolism in ways that rival even modern medicine. 2. Blood sugar control, the chromium and quercetin tag team. What if a single vegetable could help your body manage blood sugar more gracefully, without pills, without side effects, and without breaking the bank? That's what onions quietly do, thanks to two underappreciated heroes inside them, chromium and quercetin. Let's start with chromium. It's a trace mineral, meaning your body only needs a tiny amount, but that tiny bit can make a world of difference. Chromium helps your cells become more sensitive to insulin, which means glucose gets absorbed into your muscles and tissues more efficiently. The result? Less sugar floating around in your bloodstream, less roller coaster energy spikes. And for people with prediabetes or insulin resistance, that's life-changing. Then there's quercetin, a plant compound with powerful antioxidant properties. It works at the cellular level to reduce inflammation in your blood vessels and helps protect the delicate insulin receptors that often get damaged by a high-sugar diet. Quercetin also slows down the breakdown of carbohydrates, which leads to a more gradual release of sugar into your bloodstream after meals. Together, chromium and quercetin form a natural support team for your metabolism, working quietly, behind the scenes, every time you add onions to your plate. I once spoke with a man named Charles, early fees, former truck driver. He'd been struggling with borderline diabetes for years. He didn't want to take medication yet, but his numbers were creeping up. A nutritionist suggested something simple. Add red onions to at least 2 meals a day and cut down on sugary snacks. No pills, no crazy diets. 6 months later, his fasting blood sugar dropped from 128 to 102. He didn't believe it at first, until his doctor showed him the chart. "I just started cooking more with onions," he laughed. "Didn't think they'd actually do something." Sometimes, healing doesn't come in the form of a prescription. It comes from a kitchen, a cutting board, and a little bit of consistency. Food isn't just fuel, it's communication. And when we choose the right foods, like onions, we give our body the messages it needs to find balance again. But blood sugar isn't the only thing onions can help cleanse. They also play a powerful role in detoxifying your liver, your body's most hard-working organ. So in the next chapter, we'll peel back the science of sulfur and how onions help your liver process toxins more efficiently than you might expect. 3. Detoxification superpower. How sulfur in onions cleans your liver. Your liver is working right now, silently, tirelessly, filtering your blood, neutralizing toxins, and protecting you from everything you didn't even know you were exposed to. But even the hardest working organs need a little help. And that's where sulfur, found richly in onions, steps in. Sulfur is more than just the thing that makes onions smell strong or make you tear up. It's a critical nutrient for the 2 main phases of liver detoxification. Here's how it works. Phase 1 of liver detox takes harmful substances like pesticides, alcohol, pollution, and breaks them down into smaller fragments. But here's the catch. Those fragments are often more toxic than the original. That's where Phase 2 comes in. Sulfur-rich compounds help attach those fragments to something called a carrier molecule, which makes them water-soluble and ready to be safely excreted through your kidneys or intestines. Without enough sulfur, Phase 2 slows down, and your body starts accumulating toxic byproducts, like a traffic jam inside your liver. Onions, especially when lightly cooked, provide the kind of sulfur that fuels Phase 2, keeping the process smooth, efficient, and safe. A friend of mine, Michelle, used to suffer from constant fatigue. She tried every vitamin under the sun, switched diets, even gave up coffee. Eventually, a functional medicine doctor ran a full liver panel and found her detox enzymes were sluggish. He didn't prescribe medication. He gave her a simple protocol: more onions, garlic, cruciferous vegetables, and lemon water. 3 weeks later, her brain fog started lifting. Her energy returned. And for the first time in months, she said she felt clear. "It wasn't instant," she told me, "but it felt like my body was finally exhaling." We often chase complex solutions for simple problems, but nature already gave us what we need. When we support the body's detox pathways with real, whole foods, we give it space to do what it was always designed to do: heal, recover, and thrive. And here's something even more surprising. This same sulfur, along with another compound called quercetin, also helps boost your immune system in ways that could protect you from seasonal flu, inflammation, and even certain viruses. Let's explore how onions became one of the most trusted natural flu fighters around the world. 4. Onion and immunity. Nature's hidden flu fighter. Remember those chilly winter nights when your nose was runny, your throat scratchy, and everything just felt heavy? If you grew up in a household like mine, you probably remember something bubbling on the stove. A warm broth, a soothing soup, and always, a generous handful of onions. Turns out, our grandmothers were on to something. Onions are packed with quercetin, a natural compound that's not just an antioxidant. It's also a powerful antiviral and antihistamine. What does that mean? Quercetin helps your body fight off viruses by disrupting how they replicate. It calms inflammatory responses so you breathe easier and recover faster. It reduces histamine release, which means fewer sneezes, less congestion, and less irritation. And don't forget the sulfur compounds we just talked about. They have natural antibacterial properties. So while quercetin handles the viruses, sulfur tackles the bacteria and helps thin out mucus. Together, they form a kind of internal shield, especially useful when your body feels under attack. During the height of flu season a few years ago, my friend Laura, a mom of 2, always juggling life at 1,000,000 miles per hour, came down hard. Fever, cough, drained. She wasn't the kind to stop, but her body had other plans. Instead of reaching for over-the-counter meds, she tried something her grandmother used to do. She sliced up 2 onions, added garlic, turmeric, and ginger, simmered it with chicken broth and lemon. She drank that soup for 3 days straight. On day 4, her energy started to return. By day 5, she was back on her feet, lighter, clearer, stronger. I didn't expect a miracle, she told me. I just wanted comfort, but somehow, it healed. Sometimes, healing isn't about attacking symptoms, but about nourishing the body deeply so it can defend itself. And sometimes, the most powerful remedies come not from a pharmacy, but from the same place that raised us, our kitchen, our memories, our roots. But the immune system isn't the only part of us that benefits. If you've ever struggled with brittle hair, tired skin, or felt emotionally drained, onions might just hold another surprise. Because coming up next, we'll explore how this humble vegetable supports your beauty, your stress levels, and even your hair growth from the inside out. 5. Hair, skin, and stress. The beauty benefits no one talks about. We spend so much time looking for beauty in jars, creams, serums, supplements, hoping for a glow that lasts. But what if part of that glow starts from something as humble as an onion? I know, it's not the first thing that comes to mind when we think of beauty. Yet inside each layer of this bulb are quiet nutrients that nourish us from the inside out. Let's start with biotin, a B vitamin known for promoting healthy hair and nails. It helps strengthen the keratin structure of each strand, reducing breakage and thinning. Onions provide natural, easily absorbed biotin, which is often used more efficiently by the body when paired with sulfur compounds, which are also present in onions. Speaking of sulfur, it's not just good for detox. Sulfur plays a key role in collagen production, which means firmer skin, fewer fine lines, and better wound healing. It also strengthens connective tissue and improves circulation to the scalp, supporting new hair growth. And let's not forget vitamin B1, also found in onions. B1 supports the nervous system, reducing stress and fatigue. When we're calmer on the inside, it often shows on the outside, in clearer skin, brighter eyes, and more relaxed features. There's a woman I once met at a wellness retreat. Her name was Karen. She had this natural radiance, soft silver hair, glowing skin, and the kind of calm that made you want to sit beside her. Over lunch, she told me something surprising. She had struggled with hair loss and adult acne for over a decade, but instead of spending thousands on treatments, she went back to the basics. She began adding onions to her diet daily, raw in salads, sautéed with olive oil, even blended into soups. She also used onion juice as a scalp tonic once a week. After 6 months, her skin cleared. Her hair, she said, felt alive again. But more than that, her stress levels dropped. I started sleeping better, she smiled, and I stopped chasing quick fixes. True beauty isn't about perfection. It's about harmony between the way we eat, how we live, and how we treat ourselves. Sometimes, the path to healing isn't louder or more expensive. It's quieter, slower, and rooted in trust. Trust in nature, in nourishment, and in our body's ability to respond. But onions don't stop at beauty or immunity. Inside each layer, they also hold something extraordinary. Compounds that are being studied for their potential to prevent cancer. Coming up next, we'll dive into what science is discovering about onions and their role in fighting some of the most feared diseases of our time. 6. The anti-cancer potential of onions. What science is discovering. What if the same ingredient you toss into your stir-fry could also help reduce your risk of cancer? It may sound too simple to be true, but science is beginning to uncover what ancient traditions always suspected. Onions don't just flavor your food, they may also help save your life. At the heart of this potential is quercetin, a powerful plant compound found abundantly in onions. Quercetin works like a bodyguard at the cellular level, neutralizing free radicals, reducing inflammation, and even disrupting the growth cycles of abnormal cells. Several studies have linked high onion consumption with a reduced risk of cancers like colon cancer, ovarian cancer, laryngeal, throat cancer, stomach cancer. How does it work? Researchers believe that the organosulfur compounds in onions help the body trigger apoptosis, a process where damaged or potentially cancerous cells self-destruct instead of growing uncontrollably. It's like your body has a built-in cleanup crew, and onions give them the tools to do their job more efficiently. In a large population study conducted in Italy and Switzerland, researchers found that people who consumed onions frequently, at least 7 times a week, had up to a 50% lower risk of developing colorectal cancer compared to those who rarely ate them. And in another study focused on women, regular consumption of onions was linked to a reduced risk of ovarian cancer. It's not that onions are a magic bullet, but they appear to play a supporting role in keeping the body's internal defense system strong and alert. When it comes to our health, there's no guarantee, but there are choices. And the smallest ones, what we eat, what we reach for each day, can quietly build a foundation of strength that supports us when we need it most. We don't have to fear disease. We just have to support the body with what it already knows how to do: protect, repair, and renew. And speaking of building strength, there's one powerful food pairing that can take these protective benefits even further. Coming up next, we'll explore why tomatoes and onions together might just be the most underrated health combo on your dinner plate. 7. Tomato plus onion, the super combo you didn't know you needed. There's something comforting about the smell of sautéed onions and tomatoes in a pan, the beginning of so many home-cooked meals. But what most people don't realize is, when you combine these two humble ingredients, you're not just creating flavor, you're creating one of the most powerful nutritional alliances in your kitchen. Tomatoes are rich in lycopene, a vibrant red pigment and antioxidant known for protecting the heart, the skin, and the prostate. But here's the twist. Lycopene is fat-soluble, meaning your body absorbs it better when paired with certain compounds. Enter onions. The sulfur compounds and quercetin in onions have been shown to increase the bioavailability of lycopene. That means, when you eat tomatoes with onions, your body gets to absorb more of the lycopene and benefit more deeply. It's synergy in the truest sense. Two foods, better together. Even better? When lightly cooked with a healthy fat like olive oil, this combo becomes a nutritional powerhouse for your immune system, heart, skin, and even your gut. I once spoke with an older woman named Elena from southern Italy, still walking miles a day, tending her garden, full of joy in her 80s. When I asked her the secret to her vitality, she smiled and said, "Every morning I make sofrito, onions, garlic, and tomatoes in olive oil. Always. It's how my mother lived. It's how I live." Turns out, sofrito isn't just a tradition. It's a science-backed combination that reduces inflammation and supports longevity. Multiple Mediterranean diet studies have linked regular consumption of this blend to lower rates of heart disease and cancer. Sometimes the most healing rituals don't require effort, just a little bit of consistency and a lot of love. A single spoon of something simple, onions and tomatoes gently simmered, can hold the wisdom of generations and the quiet strength of foods that work better when they're together. But not all onions are created equal. Some are sharper, some sweeter, some better raw, others better roasted. Coming up next, we'll break down the different types of onions, red, yellow, white, and help you choose the right one for every dish and every health goal. 8. Not all onions are created equal, red versus yellow versus white. You might think an onion is just an onion, but once you peel back the outer layer, you'll realize there's a lot more happening beneath the surface. Because not all onions are created equal, and knowing the difference can change both the flavor of your dish and the benefits you get from it. Let's break it down. Red onions richest in quercetin and antioxidants. Slightly sweet, slightly sharp, and beautifully vibrant. Best enjoyed raw, in salads, sandwiches, or even pickled, where their compounds stay intact. Great for heart health, inflammation, and immune support. Yellow onions, the most commonly used onion in cooking. Balanced flavor, perfect for caramelizing, roasting, and long simmers. Contain moderate amounts of sulfur compounds and antioxidants. Best for soups, stews, stir-fries. Good all-rounder for general wellness. White onions, mildest in flavor, with a clean and crisp bite. Lower in quercetin, but gentler on sensitive stomachs often used in Mexican cuisine. Great in fresh salsa and guacamole. Ideal for people with acid reflux or digestive issues. Each type of onion brings something unique to the table, both in taste and in what it gives to your body. I once stayed with a host family in Oaxaca, Mexico. The grandmother, Doña Rosa, made a fresh white onion and cilantro salsa every morning. She told me she used white onions because they don't fight with your belly. Then at lunch, she'd switch to yellow onions for cooking, and in the evening, she'd pickle red onions in vinegar for digestion. She wasn't a scientist, but in her own way, she knew how to listen to the body and how to choose the right onion for the right time. Health isn't just about what we eat. It's about how we pay attention to what we eat. Even something as small as choosing the right kind of onion can turn an ordinary meal into a nourishing ritual. So next time you're at the store, pause for a moment. Look at the colors, feel the weight. Choose not just what's available, but what's right for your body, right now. But here's something equally important. It's not just the type of onion that matters. It's also how you cook it. Because if you're not careful, you might be destroying many of those precious nutrients before they even reach your plate. Coming up next, let's explore how to cook onions the right way to keep their flavor and their healing power intact. 9. Cooking matters. How to prepare onions without killing their nutrients. We've all done it. Chopped some onions, tossed them into a hot pan, and walked away while they sizzle into golden brown. It smells amazing. It tastes delicious. But here's the truth most of us never hear. You might be cooking away the very nutrients your body needs. Onions are rich in quercetin, sulfur compounds, and vitamin C, but many of these nutrients are heat sensitive. When you cook onions at high temperatures for too long, you break down quercetin and oxidize the sulfur, reducing their healing power dramatically. So how do you keep the benefits while still enjoying the flavor? Here are a few gentle guidelines. Cut them thicker, not too thin. Thicker slices retain more nutrients. Use low to medium heat. Avoid charring or browning them too much. Sauté lightly in olive oil or butter. Healthy fats help absorb fat-soluble compounds like quercetin. Don't overcook. Just soften them until translucent, not until mushy. And for extra benefit, let them rest for 5 to 10 minutes after chopping. This gives enzymes time to activate their protective compounds. It's not about being perfect, just a bit more mindful in the kitchen. My cousin Ben used to love caramelized onions. He'd cook them for nearly 30 minutes on a high heat until they were sweet and dark. One day, his nutritionist asked him to try something different. Use red onions, slice them thicker, and sauté on low heat for just 5 minutes. Add olive oil, a pinch of sea salt, and a squeeze of lemon juice at the end. At first, he missed the browned flavor. But after a few weeks, he noticed his digestion improved, his energy was steadier, and even his seasonal allergies felt milder. "It's crazy," he said, "how just changing how I cook made me feel different." Cooking isn't just about taste. It's a conversation between you and your body. When we slow down and cook with care, we keep the goodness in our food and in ourselves. We don't need fancier ingredients, just better attention. Because sometimes, the most powerful healing happens not in the food itself, but in how we prepare it, with love, with intention, with respect. And now, as we reach the final layer of this journey, it's time to step back and reflect. Because everything we've uncovered about onions isn't just about health. It's about mindset, connection, and the quiet intelligence of nature. In the final chapter, we'll explore one beautiful idea: how a humble onion can teach us a whole new way of living. 10. The final layer: how a humble onion can transform your health philosophy. We've peeled through every layer, from blood sugar to detox, immunity to beauty, cooking to connection. And now, as we reach the heart of the onion, a simple truth begins to reveal itself. This was never just about a vegetable. It's about the quiet, powerful wisdom it carries. And how, when we slow down enough to listen, we start to see health in a whole new light. Jiaithik, hante nyubiutu nkwatritli sungkwe. The onion teaches us something profound. that healing isn't always loud, dramatic, or instant. It's layered, built over time, choice by choice, meal by meal. Each layer represents something deeper: awareness of what we put in our bodies, respect for natural rhythms and real food, trust in the body's ability to restore itself, and compassion for ourselves, even when we're not perfect. Just like an onion, our health is multidimensional. And when we nourish it with love and patience, the results unfold. Not overnight, but steadily, gently, and lastingly. I once met a woman named Clara, who had battled with yo-yo dieting and chronic fatigue for years. She told me, "I used to chase every trend, keto, juice cleanses, fasting, but none of it felt sustainable." Then one day, she made a quiet shift. She started cooking again. Real food, simple ingredients, and at the center of almost every meal were onions. She said it wasn't about the onions themselves, it was about what they represented. A return to balance, to nourishment, to something deeper than weight loss or wellness fads. And slowly, her body began to respond. Not just physically, but emotionally. She felt grounded again. Maybe that's the real gift of the onion. It reminds us that transformation doesn't have to be extreme. It can start with something small, something familiar, something sitting quietly in your kitchen drawer right now. And in that simplicity lies the power to change everything. So the next time you hold an onion in your hand, don't just see it as an ingredient. See it as a reminder that your health is not a destination. It's a relationship, layered, evolving, and deeply yours. If this video resonated with you, I'd love to know, which layer of the onion spoke to you most? Leave a comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more slow, soulful conversations about food and well-being. Because sometimes it's the smallest things that leave the deepest impact.